Good afternoon, everybody. It is Mary Ann Bailey, the senior tutor with OnlineTechLessons.com and TheHipSenior.com, our new magazine, The Hip Senior, which is out now. And I'm excited today because we are having a conversation with Carol Walkner, who is our senior spotlight for August. Carol is in her early 70s. She lives in Cincinnati, and she's one of the most amazing people that I've met in a while. So, Carol, how are you today?
Really good, really good. Thanks for asking.
Great. So I absolutely love my conversations that I have with you. So I figured that everybody else would love getting to know you and meeting you and hearing what you have to say. So will you tell us about yourself?
Sure. It's been an interesting life so far and kind of jig-jagged a little bit. I always call myself a refugee from corporate America. I was there for 40 years, and I still have my own advertising business on the side of the main work that I do, and which is a Reiki master and a clairvoyant medium, helping people determine life direction, clarity, really getting them on the right path that is the best path for them, and helping them make wise decisions and things like that.
How'd you get into that, Carol?
Pardon?
How'd you get into that?
Good question. I've always been intuitive and always could see things that other people couldn't necessarily see. We can all see, but some of us hone that skill, I guess. So it's a gift. And from my grandmother, I think, because my sister is also pretty psychic. And so I've been seeing things my whole life, but the last probably 20 years is when I've honed in on really developing that talent and skill. And my whole reason for being, so to speak, is to really make a difference in the world and help people and serve them. And this is one of the ways I can do that. And I took a mediumship mastery course here in Cincinnati. It was a 2-year course that I graduated from a year ago. So just honing more skills and having fun at the same time. So yeah, I've been in Cincinnati now for this time. This is my second trip to Cincinnati, or my second lifetime in Cincinnati. I've been here 4.5 years, and almost 5 now. And I was here from 01 to 06. I got the message from the angels, from whomever the spirit world speaks to me, that it was time to leave. So I'm a Jersey girl, so I went back to Jersey. Was there until 2014, when I got the word again, okay, get out of Jersey, get out of Dodge. And I was in my 60s, and it's like, really, you want me to move again? Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? So one of my key phrases my whole life is bloom where you're planted. So it's like, okay, I'm supposed to plant myself somewhere else and figure out how to bloom when I get there. So I truly believe that we're guided by the divine, and that the universe definitely has my back. So I left a long-term relationship and a home and everything else in Jersey, and hopped in the car, grabbed a girlfriend from New York, and we drove to California. So in the dead of winter, of course, can't do it in June or July. Got to do it in February. But my son and daughter-in-law were in the process of having twins, and they already had a 2-year-old. So it's like, okay, I've got to go help. So that's what I put everything in storage and took off. And
How long were you in California for then?
a couple months and 2.5 months. And then I thought, well, now what am I going to do? I have no place to live, no place to go. I can't stay in California forever. Pretty expensive for me, even though I would love to be there with the grandkids. But so my aunt calls me up and says, you know, I just went in the nursing home and my house is vacant. Would you mind staying in my house in New Jersey so you could watch it? And I go, oh, okay, I could do that. So drove back to Jersey, stayed in her house, and then her kids decided to put it up for sale. So my cousin called me one day and said, okay, you've got to be out by December 1st. I said, okay, no problem. That was like August or September. So about a month later, a friend here, close friend here in Cincinnati, calls and says, you know, my mom goes to Florida every year from December to March. And if you're thinking of coming back to Cincinnati, you could stay in her condo while she's gone and just see if you really want to be here. Oh, okay, I could do that. So, you know, if you let the universe have your back and provide, it does, totally. So, so I lived in Madeira in her condo, and she came back March 25th, and March 12th, I closed on my house 2 weeks before she came back.
Oh, nice.
So that's my transformation story. You know, I used to say, oh, I blew up my life. I made the decision to leave the life that was okay so I could have a life that was spectacular. And that's what I have now. And I've never been happier.
You know, I think more people need to have the courage to do that. A lot of people stay in their lives that they know, like you moved back to New Jersey because that was what you were comfortable with. That's what you knew. I always have the tendency, I was born here in Ohio, but I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. And every time I think of blowing up my life again, do I want to go back to Jacksonville? You know, but most of the people that I knew that were there are in other places now, you know, so it's just kind of like, well, okay. So, but you had an interesting first life with being in the publishing business and magazines and stuff like that. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
So I have a journalism degree, and I was in the promotional advertising business and in their sales and marketing. So I developed and art directed and wrote all the sales catalogs for different businesses, different factories in that arena, and made sales calls and did all the copywriting for the catalogs. So it was fun, and created lots of different flyers and different promotional pieces. And yep, and I'm a writer, so I've been writing my whole life, and I have a couple books out, a coaching kind of book, Getting There From Here, so it takes you from where you are in life to where you would dream to be, and then a book of poetry that I wrote over the last probably 25 years. So, so it's fun. It's get to do what I want to do all the time and still doing it.
So you wouldn't change anything right now?
No, I wouldn't change anything right now. I sold my house a couple months ago and downsized to a condo, which was a very good idea. No more yard work, no more, which I thought I would love. Oh, look at this huge backyard. What fun. No, it's work. A lot of work. And where I am now in Hyde Park is a place I fell in love with when I was in Cincinnati the first time. So come full circle, and it's a beautiful area, and I can walk to the coffee shops. I can walk to the little taverns. I can walk to the bakeries. I can do whatever, things. I love to walk. So it's just a walkable place and a very friendly place. And that's probably why I stay in Ohio, because I've got so many friends here. And
That's
it's
really awesome.
it's
You know, I think people
place.
go through two stages where they don't want all that yard work. It's kind of like, okay, so like I got divorced and all of a sudden I was just like, you know what? I don't want to shovel snow and I don't want to get out and mow the grass. I want to focus on my business and figuring out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life now that it's just me. And then, when people retire and they want to be able to travel or start a second business or do whatever it is that they've been dreaming of doing their entire life, maybe sometimes people retire and their dream is to make their yard finally look amazing,
Mm-hmm.
that they didn't have time for before. But I don't have a green thumb, so my dream is to keep growing my business and moving forward in that. And so I live in a condo now too, and I always kind of go out and offer the guys that are cutting the grass and trimming the bushes, iced tea or cold water or something here in the hot summer. I'm just grateful that they're doing it and not me.
Yes, exactly.
So I know that you are a wonderful writer. Coming here in August, not only are you our senior spotlight for the Hip Senior, but you're also writing an article for us as well.
Yes, I am. And it's based on my whole theory of bloom where you're planted. We have choices. We can be upset and sad with what life handed us, thinking the glass is half empty or half full, or we can say, you know what, I'm going to make the best of where I am. Do I love it? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm gonna do what I can do to give myself the best life. It's up to us. And do I want to be by my grandkids? Yes. But they're in California. Do I want to live in California? Maybe if I could afford it, but not right now. So yeah, we do. Sometimes our decisions are made for us, and we do have layers of choices as well. So I always choose to bloom and see what else is possible.
So the people that you work with, how do they find you? How do you find them? Do introductions, are they resistant at first to what they're determined that they're going to do that, or are they looking for a way to become their own person and to make their own choices, or a little bit of all?
Probably a little bit of all. I get many referrals. Once someone starts to work with me, doing the energy work or the mediumship or whatever, on coaching, whatever level, they will typically refer me. And I do a lot of networking. I was, before this year, a lot in person, and now a lot on Zoom, because I can work remotely. So I've got clients in New Jersey, California, New York, Oregon. They're all over.
Do they believe at first? Like when someone has never experienced doing anything like what you offer, are they normally people that have knowledge in that area, or are they like, hey, I don't know what you do, but I'm open to learning, or it's all hocus pocus and I don't want to learn, but my neighbor said I should be here, or whatever? What kind of people do you encounter with that?
All of the above. When they start backing away and their hair starts catching on fire, I know they're probably not my client. Many people don't understand the ability to see and to hear from the spirit world, and that's okay. That's their choice not to want to know about that. I've had several skeptics. I'll give you a very funny example. I was in a networking meeting, and I also do medical intuitive work. So this one woman who I had helped take pain out of her legs. She'd been in pain for over 20 years from an injury when she was young. And after 3 sessions, the pain was gone. But I must say, it's not me. I'm a channel for the divine, God, who, the universe, whatever your belief in the higher power is, comes through me to help me heal people. So she was telling this other woman who's a very high-powered lawyer here in town, yeah, right, whatever. So she's got this big, you know, this fancy suit on. So she throws her leg up on the table and she says, heal my ankle. I go, oh boy, if I ever needed help now. And she said, I love high heels. I haven't been able to wear high heels in months because I hurt my ankle. Please fix my ankle. So I worked on her ankle and I said, you may need, you know, some more sessions, whatever, give me a call. And 2 weeks later, we were at a meeting together and she's in high heels, tromping all around. You need to talk to Carol. You need to talk to Carol. She healed my ankle. She healed my ankle. So she was the biggest skeptic, and now she's one of my best clients. So
awesome. I might have to talk to you about that. So that's awesome. And, you know, it's funny how people that, like I said, are skeptics, and then something like that happens, and it's hard to deny when something happens to you like that.
Right. Because it's real. It happened, and it's happened a few times to me, and I believe it's because that person was ready to heal, was ready to have her life be better, and that's who typically comes to me, are the people who are just on the cusp of, okay, life is okay, but I want it to be better, either physically or emotionally or whatever, and so I push them over the edge to better. So it works out great. And I get a lot of referrals from psychologists, from other therapists, from chiropractors, people who are familiar with the body and how it works, and how energy might be able to assist in their work. So yeah, I get a lot of referrals.
Is any of that like the power of positive thinking? What was like The Secret? Is any of it this, like anything like that?
Somewhat, because it is positive thinking, and it's also believing in a power, that there's something greater than us out there. And and most of it, like in The Secret, you know, if you put loving thoughts or words on that water, there was another movie out, can't remember the name of it, and so this Japanese man put loving words, positive words on bottles of water, and negative words on other bottles, and the ones that had the positive words, like love and hope and kindness, and the water was crystal clear. The ones that had the negative words turned dark and cloudy. And so it's proof that, yes, some of it's about positive thinking, and some of it's about, it's energy. Everything has energy. You've got energy, your table, your computer, everything is giving off something. If you're giving off love energy, that's positive. If you're giving off anxiety and stress, then you're gonna feel some of that as well inside of you, and you're gonna throw it at other people. So a lot of my clients now are people who have been stressed and anxious and about what's going to happen and what is happening, and you know, these ay kind of things. So yeah, it's all energy, and we balance it, and the anxiety goes away.
That was the Jersey girl in you, the I.
I know, right? I left when I was 18 and I kept going back several times. So I've lost most of my accent until I say, like lost, until I say a few words and then you can hear the Jersey. But the other Jersey is don't mess with me. You know, it's, yeah.
I'll cut you. I know
I
you
look
would.
like this sweet, sweet purple and white haired lady, but yeah, just don't mess with me. Then the Jersey comes up.
Oh, that's a good point. Show us your purple hair. Turn around.
Okay, I
All
have
right.
streaks here and
See,
the whole back.
she very much is the hip senior. So if you put your hair up in a ponytail, you definitely see the purple.
That's why my hairdresser did it that way, because I wear it up sometimes. And he says, see, then you, yep,
Oh,
I'm
that's so awesome.
definitely a hip senior.
Well, as the Hip Senior magazine, we definitely appreciate you giving us this interview and telling us your story about it. Is there any last things that you want to tell people or share about yourself?
I'm also an artist, and I'm a fiber artist, and I had a studio at the Pendleton downtown Cincinnati for a while.
What's a fiber
And
artist?
I do angel weavings. So they're weavings and they're imbued with angelic energy to give you courage, calm, love, whatever. So yeah, the owner of those weavings embodies that energy.
Oh, that's really cool. All right. So if people want to get in touch with you and be able to work with you, how would they get in touch with you?
So they can call or text. Even I am really hip because I text a lot. My phone, you want me to give my phone number out?
If you want people to have it.
Yeah, that's fine. 513-328-1038. It's my cell phone. I have an email, Carol Walkner 888@gmail.com. And it's CarolWalkner. And my website, carolwalkner.com, you can find all that information on the website too. And there's some stress relieving tips on there and some blogs that are inspirational, motivational, and hopeful.
And they can also find you in the August Hip Senior magazine this month at thehipsenior.com as well. So yes. I am looking forward to having this all pulled together. And by the time people see this interview, it'll be out there. So everybody go to thehipsenior.com and pull up the August edition and read what Carol has to say about, what was it again?
Blooming where you're planted.
Blooming where you're planted. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Hip, hip, hip.
All right, Carol, thanks for being with us. I really appreciate your time and all your excitedness today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, Marianne.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.